so much for tuning in on this very first newly improved Relite AMA. I'm here with George. George is the co-founder and CEO of Relite. I'm sure all of you guys who've been with us for a little while now recognize his beautiful face. But we're here to discuss the future of Relite and the recent pivot which was announced and what that means for you guys, for our community, and for the NFT space as a whole. So, George, is there anything you want to say before we kick it off?
Yeah, really excited. Thank you, David. I guess most of the community have a lot of questions, so we'll try to cover everything. I also have a list of the questions that also didn't got to the winners, and we'll try to answer those too as much as possible if we have the time. But yeah, I'm all yours. Let's kick it off.
Perfect. Yeah, let's kick it off. I think this question's pretty broad, but I think it's going to answer a lot of the questions that the community already have. But what is the new vision for Relite right now?
Yeah, first we need to think about where the market is going. And in our view, we really wanted to open up the funnel for NFT mainstream adoption. This was our first and most initial goal. So building the most user-friendly minting tool and for small-sized businesses, and in the same time offering an ecosystem for consumers and businesses to interact with those NFTs. Again, this is regarding the seamless and this interaction has to be seamless with plugging to existing eShops and offering the mobile consumers an app with a seamless wallet and an off-ramp solutions together. So in that regard, the new vision is really to intersect the physical products that all the eShops are selling with the digital representations of these products, and really offer a new experience to the consumers of those brands. That's kind of what we're aiming for, and we're really excited because we've been talking about the NFT space for a while, and now we really kind of embodies the new vision and the new future for Reddit community and the Reddit token.
Absolutely, yeah, that sounds super exciting. I saw a tweet a couple of days back that Goldman Sachs are looking into NFTs to tokenize property, and I listened to a conversation with Raoul Powell and Punk6529 on the Real Vision podcast, and Punk6529 mentioned how in the future, NFTs are really going to be ubiquitous, right? You're going to go to a cook-off with a barbecue community and you win Chef of the Year. And instead of getting a little certificate, you just get an NFT that's dropped into your wallet. Everybody can see it. You can prove it that you are the best barbecue chef that year. And it's a whole new paradigm. Super excited to see where Relite comes into it. So
multiple experiences you can offer to these customers, exactly. And it's just endless opportunities in the market, especially when it comes down also to eShops and then the more classical traditional businesses with physical representations and brick and mortar. Then I think this will change. And I think finally we have like a real use case that we could drive to mass adoption.
Absolutely. So naturally, a lot of the question on everybody's lips is about how the market has changed in the past year, and particularly why did Relite pivot away from DeFi, and why isn't DeFi relevant for Relite anymore?
Yeah, David, in short answer, the market really changed. Like we've been like last 2 years from a very central DeFi space, talking about decentralized finance all the time. The market, I think, mature and moved to more NFT tokens and the real usability outside of the financial systems that we try to replicate in smart contracts. And in general, the DeFi space also consists of a lot of challenges and risks upon it. So first is the regulatory issues that are there and still are feasible and not very clear. That's what's going to happen to stable coins. Not very clear what's going to happen to the lending in general. Are you a fund? Are you not a fund? How are you going to actually prove the capital movements around your system and so forth? But also the fact that on a smart contract level, there's too many vectors of attack, and this just like holds too much risks. And I think it also regarding the consumer perspective or where new users are, You need to ask yourself, like, where are the users? And you'll see that there's like a particular level of DeFi users and very hardcore degens that are using financial products, but then the others are more into the arts, more into toward to the NFTs. The new ones that are coming are also coming from the gaming sectors, right? And these are users that won't come just to use and start doing lending, right? They will start with something much more simpler. And that's why the NFT market essentially is also the biggest opportunity there. So I think it's very plausible. Like recent studies show that the market could go to 300 billion easily, and that's just like in 3 to 4, 5 years. And that's just the beginning, I think, for the market to move. So that's why we decided that just for business wise and also for the Relic community, for the Relic token, it makes sense to go into the more seriously into the NFT space.
Sounds awesome. So I think pivoting away from DeFi, one of the biggest sort of shackles you can throw off your shoulder is this. I'm not going to say a lack of regulation, right? Because I'm sure there'll be regulation for NFTs,
Yeah.
but the fact you're not working in the financial markets anymore, it's just going to allow the team to respond in a much more agile manner, much more rapidly. So I cannot wait to see what comes out from Relight over the next few months. So can you tell us what happened to your initial approach to offering decentralized lending and borrowing across all blockchains by utilizing Polkadot?
Yeah, this was a long kind of tango with Polkadot in our engineering team. Initially, our approach is just to use the out-of-the-box solutions for Polkadot, the cross-chain, the layer zero, and at the beginning, yeah, on paper it sounded feasible and doable, but then when we started testing, and then we realized that most of the very crucial architectural part will not be ready, we had to discover new ways and try to find new ways how we can actually do the cross-chain lending. We tested Moonbeam, so we had to do bridges. So that meant like a lot of work with our partners. But again, when you start working with bridges, then it's another vector of attack that you need to consider. And plus, then you need to create oracles that control the interest on one's chain and control the accumulation, the asset on the other chain. And that is like a whole new solution on top of your main solution. I'm not saying it's just too complicated. I'm saying it's just like, yes, it's just too many vectors of attack, too many architectural challenges that you need to, take into consideration. And plus, the market, again, as I said in previous, it changed. This is not like no bad, of course, things about Polkadot. I think they're a great community and a great partners of ours, and all the partners there, Moonbeam inclusively, they're great developers. I think just they need more time to develop the robust real architecture for us to do and continue working in that field.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we saw firsthand the entire crypto community did the risks that bridges can hold. What with
Yeah, look what
Wormhole
Wormhole
and
happened,
Ronin,
right?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's,
lost about 160 million just from the bridge, and
yeah,
that's just the beginning, maybe from these bridges to when they start holding on bigger and bigger amounts, then the risks and also the attacks will be bigger. So you need to consider that.
for sure. Yeah, so that was crazy when that happened, but thankfully that risk is hopefully not going to be there on the same scale, not with the new and improved Relight. So NFTs and their role in supporting marketing, engagement, and retention for Web2 e-commerce sounds, pretty appealing, I think. How exactly can businesses benefit, and what problems are you at Relight solving?
Yeah, you can think about the Nike case recently, what they did. So imagine the possibility of actually having a physical Nike on your shoe, on your feet, but then you also have the digital representation of those Nikes that have different kinds of skins. And you actually finally blend the physical and the digital. So that's very interesting. And I think it creates a whole new level of engagement with the customer. Also, the customers themselves, they understand that they become more attached to the brand, and there's also a status here to show. There's also self of belongingness, being part of a community, and also be part of the story of that brand. So through that NFTs, you actually create much longer cycles of attention for those customers. So the lifetime value of those customers increase, and in the same time, they always have this virality effect that all your kind of digital collections can then travel very fast in the digital space and engage more and more communities and cross promote quite easily than just like wearing a sneakers in a park, right?
Yeah.
And to challenge that also is just this goes beyond fashion, right? We can call it like it could go to design, brick and mortar, as we discussed, and also even to artists to fundraise for their art exhibition, art events, and so forth.
Perfect. Yeah, I can foresee a future where, all my loyalty schemes are powered by NFTs, right? Like, how many NFTs have you earned this month? Oh, you've earned 10. Well, you get a free coffee, or you get 50% off your next pair of trainers. Like, I think the possibilities are endless, as we touched on before. But can you
Man, yeah,
elaborate?
it's crazy. Like how can e-commerce can benefit on that? So you're buying actually Nike shoes now on your e-shop. You get the NFT as well, and that NFT unlocks an experience with in a Nike bar, which is also in the metaverse, but also a Nike bar, which is a physical bar in London, right? And in the same time, you actually interact with these people that have this kind of same NFTs, and probably it's a gated event in the same time. So yes, a very big sense of loyalty and new ways to attract people and consumers to the brand.
Mhm. Definitely. So can you elaborate a little bit more about how exactly e-commerce and small and medium businesses can leverage their NFTs into their existing processes that are live right now?
Yeah, I think we need to start from the what's the actual big problem of what these businesses are experiencing, right? So they have heard about Nike, they have heard about Adidas and all those kind of things, but what they really don't understand is really the basics, like what is NFTs all about. Now, if you start like what's a wallet, what's a minting, how do they store, and what will be the conversion from the crypto assets to their fiat asset, and how they will then taxed. So these are things that are just too complicated for them to handle. So what we want is to really to integrate into their existing e-shops and processes without giving them like too complicated things to do and too complicated UIs and things to develop themselves. So they can come to their e-shop, they can use our plugin, and they can immediately convert their collections of products into an NFTs. So this could be a Shopify, e-commerce, PrestaShops, imagine everything. Like you go to your Shopify shop, for instance, and then you just basically mint the collection. And then at the same time, it will also offer easy on and off ramp. So they can choose if they want to receive from the sale of those NFTs directly fiat or they want it as a crypto. So on the other side, again, the consumers can purchase it with fiat. And this is done for a seamless wallet where the consumers can access and store the NFTs.
Cool. Yeah, I think we talk all about this like mass adoption and this future for NFTs and crypto in general, but until the process of actually engaging and utilizing these digital assets is as simple as unlocking your iPhone, it's not really going to happen in any meaningful way. So it sounds like Relite is really trying to solve the usability issue, which I think is prevalent throughout all of crypto and the entire blockchain ecosystem. So that's
It's
incredible to
very
hear.
important, yeah, because when we in e-commerce, people were decades are trying to solve the checkout experience, right? And when you add the NFTs, we won't just add, not the complexity, but just an additional nice way to make more revenue for the business, but in the same time, not to obstruct the checkout experience for the customer. So this is like very important here to mention.
Got it. Now, I have a big one I'm about to throw at you, George. This is one that is on the tip of everybody's tongue, including mine. I want to know, and the community wants to know, what does the product and the company roadmap look like right now?
Yeah, really very good question again. This has been on the minds of many people asking us. So the first one is really we are now reusing most of smart contracts in terms of the staking. And after that, we will just be analyzing like what parts exactly will going to be reused for the next iteration. We will be revising the tokenomics of Rally and the Rally's utility. I'll talk about that probably later in the AMA. But this is very important because since the solution or like the core genesis of the product changes, then we need to be sure that the Rally tokenomics are going to be adjusted to the new vision of the product. That's okay for holders and don't want to scare holders and investors and backers whatsoever. We're just going to see like how exactly Rally can benefit more feasible to the new product. Then we are going to focus on the MVP specifications, the staking part for Rally. Then we're working with on-ramp partners, smart contract partners, who will help us on all the necessary integrations. And then we will move to eShops, the ability for eShops to just integrate as easily. And then finally, we will be taking releasing the consumer app on the seamless wallet where the consumers can take the NFTs, use it, and just basically be part of the big ecosystem where we are building. Now here, I want to say that some actually of the e-com big providers, they have been looking into NFTs and they have been offering like similar kind of, not similar, but some parts of the that Relite is offering. But what we want to do is really build an ecosystem, and where you have the consumer using the app, you have the businesses that offer them the products, and at the same time you have like easy on and off ramp. And this is something that we really want to achieve, and not many solutions out there are yet built and have that vision.
Got it. So you mentioned a consumer app. So can you tell us a little bit more about the product, the MVP product, and the consumer app?
Yeah. So there are like two basic models here. So one is the kind of the minting module, which consists of a UI, really easy collection creation. Again, it could be plugged into a eShop, and then you can adjust all the specifics like the amount of NFTs, how much, any time locks, anything related to layers, and something else that you want to create, like kind of a turnkey solution. And it also will have the fiat already on and off ramp integration with it. And then the module 2 consists of the consumer app. Basically, this is the consumer facing UI. It has a seamless wallet, can be accessed via username, email, and password. And basically, this is where they store the NFTs. But also through MPC, we can do it like a kind of a non-custodial way, and we can then offer really to buy again NFTs with credit card, and at the same time offer pretty much good security for the user. Without the complexity of actually owning a MetaMask wallet and remembering the key phrases and so forth. So we really want to make it like easy for regular people non-Web3 people to onboard on the NFTs.
Yeah, I think that the wallet that Relite is developing and the leverage of MPC, which is essentially, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, like fractured private keys, right? So no single entity other than you has the final piece of the private key in order to authenticate it to send your NFT or to utilize your NFT anywhere. I think that that's important because perhaps a lot of the Web2 folk who might come over to Relite in the future when they want to leverage NFTs, they might not be so interested in custody and self ownership and self sovereignty of their assets. But there's a huge market already out there right now of people who are and people who've built this current NFT ecosystem. So it actually opens the door up to those guys as well.
Exactly. I mean, people want to have an easy way to experience non-fungible tokens, but if you start talking about wallets for them and seed phrases, they will go away. So you need to have kind of ways that it's secure, and at the same time the custody is not completely 100% on your side, because also that's a risk, right? I mean, we don't want to do like things like Coinbase does, right? A completely centralized wallet. We want to make sure that the level of security is high. With through MPC you can do that, and the access points and the keys are stored in different data points, and people will be able to use still the wallet and the basic functionalities of the wallet just with a username and password. Really, really cool stuff, exciting. And again, this is going to be drawn through partners. We don't need to build ourselves the whole wallet in infrastructure for that. And we can do that, and then with just put our UI, and then we go.
Awesome. So it's replicating that simple, easy to use, easy to access Web 2 experience, but in the background, it's all Web 3. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we did push out a tweet with a Gleam form before we did this AMA, inviting our community, our wonderful community, to ask questions. And you guys do have a chance actually to take home a prize today. So we do have some winners, and I'm about to fire some questions over to you, George. The first one.
Good questions, by the way. Yeah, love it.
Perfect. So the first one is from, and I'm going to apologize now. I might butcher these names, but I'm going to try. The first one is from Alexander Kroll.
Yeah.
Alexander says, many artists and ordinary people create their own NFT collections. Most launches are not complete without serious advertising campaigns with huge budgets and collaborations to add value or some kind of privilege to NFT holders. But not everybody has huge communities and budgets. What promotional tools will be available to authors, so to NFT creators on your platform? How is it different from similar projects? And what is the main value for me as an author or as an investor and collector?
Great question. I think it's questions and plural because it's quite long here. Yeah. So look, first we need to clarify that on the distribution side and the marketing, then we still value that these entities or these businesses and these artists, they have to have their own community and manage those communities. What's really Relight is offering as value proposition is the no code ways of creating those smart contracts, and offering as well a way to interact with consumers in a new way, meaning for the consumer app, or just basically making it sure and easy for those artists to mint their collection and distribute it, and to be sure that they will get what they expected from the sale, right? And again, this is like the biggest value proposition, because most of those creators still they don't have enough knowledge about security. They don't know what the wallet is. So this is where we are really tapping into the problem, right, for these guys. And then what was the other part?
So what is the main value for me as a collector?
Yeah, so the value for us of collectors in the same price is that you actually open up for new collectors. So new collectors come in, they start buying the NFTs, and they start interacting with the other collectors. And like what we're thinking is that the consumer app will be also a place where these eventually people will start trading as a sort of a marketplace for these NFTs in the future. So you'll have additional value proposition again for collectors and creators, that you're entering the ecosystem and there are already existing users there that are trading, and they have going to be pushed, and your products will be again available for that kind of users. And when that grows into a bigger ecosystem with large amount of users, then it's gonna be like a domino effect where more and more creators are joining, more and more users are joining, and they kind of start to intersecting between communities intersect. And basically, yes, you bought like a great NFT for Nike, but then you're also being offered NFTs for Adidas and so forth. So you'll be able to spot those particular kind of offers immediately. And I think that's already a big value proposition here.
Yeah,
on the distribution side and the promotion side.
For sure. So the next question by another winner is by Anna Stolbovskia. Maybe I did that right. I'm not sure. But Anna says on your website, I found information about the Relly platform token. What is the main purpose of Relly? Can I use it as an investment vehicle? If so, what are their prospects? Can users do without it when interacting with your platform?
Yes, so let's talk about Relay token a bit, because that's a big topic I want to tackle. I mentioned that we're going to revise the tokenomics, but we also have already a vision like what exactly is going to really be doing in those kind of, let's say, 4 branches of interactions within the system. So Relay will be included part of the minting process. So Relay will be used and kind of be used for the minting of the NFT smart contracts. Also, when it comes down to distribution of the NFTs, again, the businesses have to stake a certain amount of Relay, and this will actually enable them to unlock pro features and additional features in the system. In the marketplace and the consumer app, you will be also offered for the consumers to, Relay tokens, and they will be again able to utilize on and off ramps with Relay, acquire NFTs, and so forth. And finally, we kept that very important part where the holders of Relay will also decide like, what exactly is going to be developed as features in the whole ecosystem. So having said that, there are really 4 kind of new ways to Relay can be part of the main utility. And that's like very, that's kind of into consideration that the system is still like being built, but we already have like kind of the general vision of how Relay will be used. When there is a transaction and there's something is actually being transacted and created, then Relay can be there to facilitate that transaction, and again it will find a new utility. So I think from investor perspective and for the community perspective, we finally got like a model where Relay is just not going to be a token of the whatever lending platform, whatever you call it, but it's actually going to be their part of the ecosystem, engage more users, engage more investors, be like, and then eventually be a successful token.
Cool. So it's actually expanded in terms of utility thanks to the pivot.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the most important thing, because what we saw in the previous model, it was just a token that sits there, maybe by parts of the, being part of the farming. Yes, you can just be awarded by voting mechanism, by etc. when you participate in the lending, but that's not enough, I think. To really find the utility is the most important thing for a token. And now we have like a new product vision, which actually opens the door for new ways that the Relay can be used. And that's the most exciting part. I think that's the kind of the thing that really makes the product move.
Yeah, absolutely. So, final question by one of our winners. The winner is called Isa Nur.
That's
Maybe.
the runner-up, right?
Oh, yes, I
It's the
believe so.
runner-up, yeah.
So they ask, can you list 3 killer features of your project that make it ahead of all the competitors?
Yeah, of course. That's the most important question, right? So here are the 3 main edges. So the usability, we don't want to disrupt the existing process of these businesses. That's why they can easily integrate it, Relight into the eShops, and could easily create NFT contracts. Flexibility, on and off ramps for fiat, and security, the seamless wallet provided by the MPC. All those 3 features are already very, very big, and I think Nifty Kit, Shopify, Trickit, and the rest don't yet have maybe in the desire to do all the whole parts of these ecosystems and these features.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, George, for everything.
Maybe a bit of questions more from the list.
Yeah, feel free.
Let's see if I have something here.
Yeah, sure. We can take a look. We can dig it up.
Yeah, because people ask us about the partnerships. So definitely first key partnerships that we need to do is for the on and off ramps. Here I want to say that this will be announced soon. And it's very important for us to have like a partner that helps us on the fiat on and off ramp and making able to get this kind of connection between the NFT and the normal fiat currencies. Then we need partners, of course, for the NFT smart contract creation, which would be done again for partners. And then we need, for the seamless wallet, we have locked that partner too. So that's kind of on the partner side. And let's see if there's anything more interesting here that I see for the questions.
If anybody is tuning in from Telegram as well, feel free to shout out in Telegram. If you've got a question which is appropriate, I'm sure we can take it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this also the sustainability. I think most of the people are asking us about like NFTs and metaverse sustainability and how these models work. So most of the, let's say, axes and so forth, they don't kind of have a very much sustainable model here because it's more like a financial kind of a system where new users get eaten up very quickly, and if there's no new users coming in, then just there's no the token doesn't appreciate, and then it creates like that spiral, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these kind of models have to be avoided, and I think that's very big problem at the moment in the NFT and metaverse, because it's still we're still looking for the best alternatives and models. But until then there will be more projects like this, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely need to avoid that.
And yeah,
Relying on perpetual
yeah,
growth. Sorry, go
and
ahead, Joe.
people are also asking about the business model. Again, this is part of the really transactional based model, so they will be always really involved in the process, but fees as well will occur in other cryptocurrencies that will enable us to have a small cut also from the NFT sales themselves without hindering the revenue, of course, of these shops, and be able to have enough revenue to sustain a company and be profitable.
Yeah.
And then what else do we have here? If I have a look. Yeah, also like for the last 2 to 3 years, NFTs have been on the front. I've wondered if it's going to be like this. I think finally crypto found its ways to the mainstream through NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard back in the days to explain like what a DeFi protocol is, right? And what a DeFi token is. But now when you actually explain like what NFT, you can put like a profile picture and it's actually you own it and it's on the blockchain. People kind of get it and they see it's a kind of a value of add for them and for the brand and for the community. So I think
Yeah.
finally we actually managed to tackle that issue.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to explain than going down the pub and saying, listen, right, you just need to get some Binance coin, you need to throw it in PancakeSwap, then you'll
Yes.
start farming cake.
Yes.
Cake gives you syrup, and people are like, what? But yeah, I totally
Yes.
agree. It's so much
Yeah,
easier.
exactly. Yeah, I think it's a great utility here. So coming to the masses. But maybe to talk about the prizes a bit.
Let's
So
go for it.
thanks again for the great questions, guys. And if there's anything actually now at the moment in Telegram, then hit us up or in Twitter as well.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Twitter. But maybe you can speak about the prizes that people are going to grab, any partners that we might want to shout out, and of course, one of the
Yeah.
NFTs is from Anime
Yeah.
Gang, right?
Yes. Big shout out to Anime Gang. Great guys. They made a great collection. Check them out on the Twitter, and we also tag them as well. So the prizes are for the 2 best questions. They get like 1 NFT each from Anime Gang, and then they get also a T-shirt of Relight. So please send us your physical address, not only your MetaMask address. so that you can get the t-shirt. Yeah, great project to Anime Gang. Shout out to these guys, amazing team, and I think we will continue to collaborate with them. Also, they said that we can give additional whitelist spots for the new Genesis collection. So all of those 3 guys, including the runner-up, will get a whitelist as well spot for the new Genesis collection. So have a look at them, guys. Don't miss. And if you want to reach out, please write us on Twitter or Telegram admins that, with the prizes and descriptions so that we can, facilitate the process and help you. Yeah. And finally, yeah, do check us out. We have a new landing page. Relite.finance is the old domain, but check out the new web page. Check out the Medium blogs. Check what we're cooking there and kind of what's happening. We also resumed the updates from the development. By the way, we had quite a need for restructuring then because of the war of Ukraine, and things have to be changed there as well, and this kind of slowed down us a bit. Here, my apologies to the investors, backers, partners, and investors that we couldn't give you all the data, all the updates that was relevant needed as possible, but apologies for that. We'll now be resuming communication better with the community, and we have more now clear roadmap to actually achieve that. So it's going to be much easier for us to communicate with you guys. Yeah, and any partners, brands in the fashion industry, e-shops, any artists, influencers that want to engage in the NFT space, to reach us out, and we look forward for you guys.
Perfect, George. And if you are a winner and you are listening, I do want to see snaps of the t-shirt, right? We want to see them on Twitter for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
Good one.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, George. I appreciate everything, and I will catch you around. And thanks so much for everyone for tuning in.
We'll do another one probably soon, AMA, with another set of questions. I guess people are still curious of what are our future plans. But yeah,
Awesome.
Looking forward. And thank you, David, again. Thanks for the marketing team and everyone. Good work. All our relighters, and yeah, let's get it rolling.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.